Literary Gladiators, the show where we discuss and debate literature in all of its forms. If it's written work, it's game. Let's meet the panel.
I'm Dan.
Kaila.
Charlie.
And I'm Josh. Alrighty then. What are we going over today, Laney?
The Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen.
Okay, we went over The Little Mermaid last time around, and now we are revisiting
You just do all the original.
the Grand
What's
Fairy
basically
Tale
the
Master. Alrighty. What's our first question?
How do you feel the characters in this tale are meant to be viewed symbolically? Wow.
I think that a lot of it has to do with the fact that it is an evangelical and religious tale, as this particular Barnes & Noble Classics collection makes mention to it. That's how it sorts the story out.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was going to add to that, actually. There's a mention of the Lord's Prayer. And of course, with Christianity, there's all different sects. And, you know, sometimes prayers are said a little differently with different words. Or, you know, different practices are, still.
What was it in Danish? I think.
Yeah, it's Danish.
Yes.
But you have the troll is the devil.
Yes.
as
He's
it
actually
makes
called the
mention.
devil.
Yeah, the troll. Yeah, it's his other name. But
I think there's
anyway.
angels and stuff like that. So there's a lot of religious symbolism in it.
Yeah.
I think this work is very much symbolic, and it pretty much the underlying message has to do with religion, which is probably on the basis of Christianity. But with regard to characterization, you have the people that are victims to the mirror pieces that go into
Like
their
if you have
minds.
darkness in your heart, you also see that darkness with your eyes. And the thing is, to them, everything looks ugly.
Mhm.
That's kind of like the way that the devil affects your heart, he affects your eyes as well.
Mhm. But I think that a lot of it doesn't just have to do with people that are cold and bitter, but it also touches up on intellect and what really defines intelligence.
I wanted to add to that also. About the characters, Kay, and then Gerda. Gerda.
Yeah,
They're I think they're brother and sister, but
they're friends.
They're neighbors.
They're friends, but their relationship is like that of a brother and sister.
So they're very close in that way, like my real brother. But that's not how they would say it back then. Obviously, my real sister.
They'd go out playing the roses.
Yeah, and it was innocent. They were all innocence, But when Kay has his mind, well, shall we say, his eye,
He gets pieces
Yeah.
of the
that's
mirror in his heart.
I see that as the devil already corrupting you. And of course, Kay's boy, so boys hit puberty a little earlier. Now I don't know about this.
The girls actually hit puberty earlier.
girls
This is
hit
why I got a D in sex ed class. So
Gotta pay attention.
They actually
no, I didn't want to.
They used to girls used to actually receive their bat mitzvahs when they were 12.
Yeah.
Boys
Yes.
would receive their bar mitzvah at 13.
Yeah.
Now they do it at the same age,
Yes.
but
I think
that
now
was
it's-
their reason.
No,
I think it's symbolic to the fact that he was beginning to question.
exactly.
He was beginning to question something
Yeah.
against the will of God.
Exactly. And boys
this
usually
causes,
do that a lot,
And this causes him to see things more scientifically,
Yeah.
develop a more cold disposition toward those that are
in charge, the authority.
mindlessly happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
And then just, and it was just this idea, and once you develop that urge to seek the path of intelligence, you need to pump yourself up more and more and more. It's like an enhancing drug.
Exactly. And also, like I said, it's the minute the glass got into the boy's eye and also his heart, like I said, it's also, bam, that's, you could say, when reality sets in, like this is the real world now, but, still. And Gerda, everything is, God bless her, everything is, rose-colored glasses. You can't, and she does get upset with her brother, or with Kay. Like I said, they're like, I read this last night, actually. It was a really, really powerful read, and I liked it. I very much liked it. And, but still,
You would want to say something, Kayla?
Maybe it's because I'm not coming from a religious standpoint, but I took this more as a tale of true love and the lengths we would go to for the people we love. Like Gerda was willing to walk through countries and countries to get Kay
and then on
back.
ice.
Yeah.
She kissed him like
And-
that's how he's Christmas broken.
Right, exactly. And to me, that was just a statement of
Yeah, I know. I like
what
that.
we would
like
go.
I think that her,
for true love.
I think she was very much passionate about him. I think that
Mhm.
this is, I would argue, I'd stand by the fact that this is definitely a religious tale, but I think that it's great to see it in the way. I like looking at that approach, how determined and passionate she is.
I could see it also. This is coming from what you're saying as well, and from a religious standpoint. I'm going to put the two together like a big Oreo cookie. Why can't I just go one day without mentioning food?
It's kind of your thing.
I know, and drumming. Anyway, and reading, of course. And digressing. You, from the religious standpoint, and of course from your standpoint, Kay leaves. Either way, okay? So in your case, Kay just is gone. He just left.
Mhm.
Is what you're saying. Maybe, hey, okay, so he's like, he's gone. We know he's just gone, okay? Coming from a religious standpoint, he may be dead because once you're gone, and it's not like to say it's. I guess also trying to introduce
That's what she
children.
thinks, but
okay?
then the anthropomorphic beings, like the flowers and the birds,
Exactly. And they talk. And
tell
they
her
interact.
that he's
Yes.
in fact
I know.
still alive.
Yes. So
Where he is, they don't know.
Yeah, but that was my lame attempt at trying to put those two together. But still, that's how I read it as well. Like, it's kind of dismal. You lose a childhood friend. I mean, I've lost some friends when I was little, and I wasn't too happy about it. But I didn't have the courage to go out and say, okay, well, I better find them. No, stupid. It's not going to work. Why? They're on vacation. Can I go with them? No, stupid. Mom! Okay, fine. No, but still. So, and it was actually a movie. I didn't have
It was based off of Frozen, or
Yeah.
it inspired Frozen, even though
Let
Frozen.
it go!
We're going to be
Oh,
going
God,
over
don't you
Frozen.
dare.
I'm not, no, please.
Don't
no.
you dare.
I won't. And like I said, I'm a substitute teacher, so every year we have to hear.
But I think getting back to the characters, I think that the
Yeah.
crows were quite witty.
Yeah.
They were probably my favorites. They were funny.
It was the whole the marriage and the
Right.
yeah.
I liked that he kept calling the female crow like his domestic sweetheart or his palace sweetheart or something like that. It was adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In today's day and age, it's
Ready then?
there's a glass in my eye.
Want to go to the next question?
The Snow Queen is classified as an evangelical and religious tale. What kind of religious morals, if any, do you feel this tale teaches?
I think that it is. I think that the last statement really demonstrates what this tale is about, and the grandmother reads this at the very end. Verily I say unto you, except ye become as little children, ye shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. And something relevant is a song that the kids remembered, and that was, roses in the valley grow, and baby Jesus, there we know. Which goes to show you that in order to enter the kingdom of heaven, according to this particular argument, you need to have that sense of purity and innocence that young children possess, because adults are very often, which I think most of us can attest to, that the adults are very complicated individuals. They're
Sometimes
very,
we do things we regret.
I think they're very.
That's part of growing up.
Yeah, I think it's very, and that they'll challenge these things
It's
that
the
they were
norm.
taught.
It's
Yeah.
the norm. Once kids hit that, once the hormones start flowing, and this is not meant to be, this is not meant to be offensive. And if it comes off offensive, I apologize. But once the hormones start going, bam, Mom, I want this. Dad, what's going on? You know, and it's always not like that.
I don't think they see that. I think they see that, as Dante put it, as
Yeah.
a sin of incontinence. I think
Yeah,
that they're looking
but still,
more
you know.
at the
You know,
mentally altering. According to Dante, the very worst sin, aside from, or the lowest circle aside from that of Lucifer, is treachery against the Lord, which
Exactly.
means if you manipulate someone against believing in God or questioning in such, that's the worst possible sin you can commit.
You mean the eighth circle, Rod?
Yeah, that's the absolute lowest circle, next to that of Lucifer's mutilated, frozen head popping out.
Violence.
Violence is in the middle. They think that mentally crippling people,
Wait, no, violence is the ninth circle.
We're talking about Dante's Inferno now?
yeah.
I think so.
treachery against the. It's
I think we gotta get off topic.
it's incontinent, but with regard to this, it is demonstrating how I think that the whole mirror in the eye and the fact the jadedness, because Kay is becoming intelligent, it means that he is.
He's being questioned religion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
And
being.
that's what a lot of people.
But more so that he's intelligent in the way that he is he's questioning his surroundings in a way that is not a way that he shouldn't be. He's becoming cold, and he's becoming more interested in
Other things,
getting answers to his questions as opposed to enjoying life and letting God,
Put you in the right.
yeah, allowing God to, leaving things to him.
We all make mistakes. We all, I make many mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes on the show, but still, it's basically, from the religious standpoint, and I know this is a major digression, when you go before your creator, you say, I've done this, and there's no lie, you can't lie. Like I said, he knows everything. And, but still, but that is like, and to go back, and like, take this ship that's so far, of course, right now, I'll put it back on track. With Kay, what was that original question?
Has to do with whether or not this can be classified.
Okay,
How whether or
Right.
not evangelical or religious
Right.
tale is inaccurate.
Okay, well, all right, I think it also, yes, it is accurate also, by means of saying Gerda is having a test. Life is a test, especially in Christianity, in every life. With I think Buddhism, if you make one mistake and you die, you have to be reincarnated. Now, I don't know how true that is. I don't believe in reincarnation, but still. And plus, I would not want to be
That's the argument I
reincarnated.
heard about that, and I also heard something similar with Hinduism.
Yeah, so maybe, probably the two mixed up, exactly. But I would not want to come back, okay, now you're going to be no, I'm not going to be a doorknob. Well, we're going to say a flower pot, but okay. Doorknob, no, anyway, still. But so you got to have to.
It's just when it's living, that's when it's non-living.
Hey, you can be reincarnated, I don't know, I don't know.
You have anything, Dan or Caleb?
I have to say, I don't think it was an evangelical tale. I think it's more of a fairy tale, though, but with like, it's kind of like the Chronicles of Narnia. It's a fairy tale, but it does have religious undertones within the story.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an evangelical tale. Evangelical tale would be like David and Goliath.
It's not a biblical tale, of course.
Yeah, but it's still considered evangelical.
But it's, I think that it is riddled, it's filled with
Well, I mean, yeah,
religious
there's definitely
messages.
religious undertones, like,
And there's called
corruption of the heart, which is like with the mirror pieces, the ice, not the ice queen, the snow queen kind of portrayed as like, kind of like the devil's servant, like she's the one that lured Kay away and basically entrapped him into this world of hers where, he abandons everyone and forgets about his family, which is kind of like people who turn over to the dark side, they forget everyone in their past, they just become there.
Or when they hit the lottery, say it, honey, who are you?
Otherwise, I think, I want to, with regard to the troll, or the devil. In the very beginning, it makes mention to the fact that he has his own troll school, which is deemed as being an outlet that spreads misinformation. And what do you guys think about that?
That's Satan getting his army ready.
Would you see it as maybe an anti-Christian establishment, or even perhaps a college?
Oh, we don't know college is corrupt. That's why I have my job still. That's what now.
But- Granted, in the way that this particular knowledge is giving people alternate explanations as to why they should not believe in God. Especially, I know in an astronomy class, one of the instructor made mention to what we really are. And we're just different molecules that are being stored into some particular capsule.
Well, like, okay, like in a way, it's like it's kind of like if the school taught atheism, you know. Like, okay, like I have a brother who's an atheist, so the thing is, I kind of know the whole story of that side and the whole entire story of believing in God. So the thing is, from what my brother describes, the thing is, there is no true evidence to God. Or even if in the story where the thing is, there is a God or something like that, like I think there's something, there is a God and angels, stuff like that. But the people on earth, the thing is, they don't truly know if there is a real God. And if someone spreads the information that there is no God, people will believe that there is no God, thus creating more chaos for those who believe and those who do not believe. It's kind of like that kind of things that he teaches people that the thing is, the person that you believe, the creator of the universe, isn't real, basically.
Then who created it? You did.
Well, I mean, you can have like faith and morals without necessarily being religious. My grandfather
That's
is,
true,
and you
but-
never hear about it that he's an atheist, but he just said, you know, I don't necessarily believe in anything, and I have my own set of morals despite that. So it could be representative of like general good morals that
I don't
fall in
think
the
you need
lines of
religion to have
Christianity.
morals.
People
Yeah, a
do
lot of
hell
people-
lot more killing in the name of God than they do
Yeah.
without the
We
name
know-
of
Yeah,
God.
people like a lot of
what-
killing.
In the name of any god, too.
Yeah.
Something that interested me was the use of mirrors. And
I know where this is going.
why would you feel that they use mirrors to Charles?
I shouldn't have done that.
I have an argument of my own.
Yeah, but no. With a mirror, what do you see when you look in a mirror?
Yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You're examining your conscience, examining, of course, when I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, oh God, well, it's just me, okay. Yeah, but still, you know. And on opposite day, I'm like, wow, look at that. With a mirror, you see the reflection, and you can, you know, and unless it's a one-way mirror, then you don't know, but still. In this case, it was.
You see that, and you also see highly the fact that you're being cluttered by mirrors of yourself. You're seeing highly in yourself and your
You see
intuition, which I think some would argue that being intuitive and believing in yourself is the way that you should live your life. However, in this particular tale, it argues that to submit to God is the way that you accomplish where you are going.
Because I just in the mirror, like the thing is like when you look in a mirror, the thing is you see the reflection of yourself. However, this mirror in particular reflects only on the bad and the ugliness that lives in the world, which you know you can see that. And the thing is, everyone has done something bad or ugly with inside them. All right, but the thing is and the thing is, the mirror kind of brings that all into focus. It causes you only to see the bad in everyone, when in fact there is some good in a lot of people. The thing is, it just focuses on the bad, and that's kind of like what the mirror does. So the thing is, it's a reflection on the evil in everyone.
I think, unfortunately, there are too many outlets that only focus on the bad of things.
Yeah.
So it's pretty relatable.
And I will say this real quickly. I promise this won't take more than 20 seconds. When my father worked in retail, and a lot of people were quick to complain. Very few people were able to would go and give a compliment. You can actually tie me on this.
I think people, unfortunately, take kindness for granted.
Yeah.
Ready then?
Because I love those more than Twinkies.
Anybody else have something to say before we go to the next question? Already, what is the next question?
The Snow Queen inspired the Disney film Frozen. Do you see any connections, and which story do you prefer?
The Snow Queen and there's ice. And a little girl who's innocent. Do you want to build a
I
snowman?
kind of see the connection, like,
I would say yes.
I'm sorry.
Love you too.
To both
What?
Frozen and or Once Upon a Time version?
Well, like, okay, what both versions of, well, I suppose I can explain both versions if you want me to, but Frozen,
Let's start
like,
with Frozen, yeah.
Elsa is kind of like the Snow Queen, you know, she has like all these ice powers. I mean, of course they try and humanize the Ice Queen, the Snow Queen in this one, I keep saying Ice Queen for some reason.
I like ice cream.
The Snow Queen is the one that causes snow. And the way how that happened in Frozen is that she ended up causing the land to be covered in snow. I mean, so you do see some of the connections there. It's just that a lot of it is changed, you know, and it does deal with kind of the things like, as Charlie was saying earlier, they do have a brother-sister kind of bond. And that's kind of like what this movie is, like the bond between two sisters, you know? It's just that the Ice Queen is one of the sisters.
I actually think that I probably have an easier time relating this, taking this from a non-religious perspective, because I saw Elsa more as being like Kay, and you know, you can pretty much directly relate Frozen to depression and how your loved ones can help assist you in pulling yourself out of a depression. And that's kind of how I more saw the tale of the Snow Queen, is how finding true love, no matter what type of true love it may be, can help you regain that childlike innocence in your life once you've been jaded as an adult. So I saw more Elsa as like Kay and Gerda as Anna, where Gerda helped Kay, you know, recover from that cynical, cold, jaded lifestyle, where Anna helped Elsa recover from that, you know, deep, icy depression, however you want to relate it. But if you watched Once Upon a Time, they took a lot more elements from the actual Snow Queen. In that, Once Upon a Time is basically a show where they
take like fairy tale characters and like put them in.
Yeah,
like, what
yeah.
would happen if they were in our world?
Yes, and in the show they actually had the mirror and the actual Ice Queen, which is why I kind of felt like Kay was more like Elsa.
That kind of crossed over like the actual story of the Snow Queen
Yeah.
and Frozen, and we'll get to that after, you know, after you guys.
Life is like an open door.
Love is like an open door.
Actually, never
Sing the
saw
song
Frozen.
right.
I don't want to.
I'm not gonna let this go.
Oh no,
I love
please
you.
don't. No digressing.
See, we're friends, we make up.
Live, laugh, love. Life.
Actually, never saw Frozen.
Neither have I.
Neither
I
have
thought I
I.
was the only one.
I've heard the soundtrack.
I
Oh,
can
God,
say
I've heard
though
the
that
soundtrack.
I
in
work in a
this,
school. I work in school.
Yeah, you can't avoid
I
it.
can say though that I read The Snow Queen before, if I ever watched Frozen, and that also applies to Once Upon a Time as well.
You know what? You're gonna. A lot of you
Also,
might.
I've heard mention I do prefer Frozen.
Okay, I was gonna ask any
It's me.
any preferences
Ice
like
cream,
between the two.
Chocolate and vanilla.
I love Frozen.
And honestly, I have never seen the movie Frozen, but I've seen a few bits of it, and I've heard Let It Go. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little prejudiced. I mean, something which I shouldn't be, but still, we all
Disney.
make mistakes. And still, I'm like, I'm not gonna like it. Wrong. The song Let It Go, I like it. I'm not gonna lie, because great drum track, but still, a great drum piece as well for the drum set, and. But still, you know, I couldn't get into it, you know, honestly, I couldn't get into it, you know.
I like the way The Snow Queen was put together, and I
Yeah.
think that the way adapting that into a film would have been quite interesting,
Yeah.
how they
I'm sure it was a challenge. Right?
interpret those particular. They made it more about a movie having to do with real sisterhood as opposed to boy and girl
Yeah.
that were really close friends.
I feel like the Snow Queen would make a better, you know how like Pixar does like the shorts before their films? I
Yes.
could see this being like a Pixar short before a film.
Depends on
I
the
think it would
length
be
of
adorable.
time. I think that it could.
I think you could cut this into like 5 minutes and sum it up in like a really cute little compact short.
Like the whole entire concept of the book.
I don't know if I can
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah.
I do like Olaf.
I
think
mean,
it-
you
I
can get
think
the you can get a big message in a very short amount of thing. I mean, poetry does it,
Yeah.
so shorts can do
I
it
like
too.
Olaf.
I agree that there are things that can be explained in a shorter message. I don't think the Snow Queen is one of them. I think that I think there are specific details that are necessary.
Well, it depends. Like, if you want, like, if you're trying to portray, like, as she said, a fairy tale with about two people who are friends and them trying to save each other, the thing is, yeah, you can put that into like a 5-minute short. If you want to explain all the evangelical stuff, then yeah, you would have to make an entire movie.
Even that, I don't think that. I think that you can make something. It's more so whether you can do it. Of course, you could probably. It's possible, but I feel that it would be. I think that it would benefit from something longer. But that's just where I stand.
And I sit here.
Any final thoughts?
But you know,
I want to read more Hans Christian Andersen.
I like.
Definitely a good book. Definitely check out Frozen if you haven't seen the movie. It's good.
And eat some ice cream while you're watching it. And also, one quick thing about the this was I saw with what Gerda was going through. It was one of the questions you asked about. It was related to religion. With the evangelical, this is a test someone has to go through, and in this case, and there's of course all these stumbling blocks. Well, that's ironic, But does she give up? No, she doesn't give up. She keeps going and going and going, like the Energizer Bunny. So basically, she's not giving up, and that's what you're really not supposed to do in life, is give up or go off the beat path, So yeah, but I liked it.
If you're interested in checking out more fairy tales by Hans Christian Andersen, here's the Barnes & Noble Classics
Oh my
edition
goodness gracious.
that I primarily refer to when I'm reading his tales.
Why don't I put these down?
There are plenty of other collections that collect his fairy tales.
There you go.
Nope,
If I-
sorry.
if I
Nope, too
fall-
much work. Sorry.
Well, here you go. If you can see it, good for you.
It's a lot of lens glare here, guys. That's the book.
Make the book dance. Yeah, make the book eat cake.
It's gonna ruin the book.
I am so
I treat my books
hungry.
well. If you want to feed your book cake, you can
No,
go right ahead.
I'll eat my book.
Smash it right between the pages.
Already done.
To our real party.
Be sure to join us next time for another episode of Literary Gladiators. For now,
Keep reading.
let it go and keep reading.